Hello CityGates family. Wow, that's the first time I have said CityGates. That's going to take some time getting used to. I've got Harold here with me and we're going to be having a conversation about CityGates. Huge news, and this is exciting news, and I'm sure as a part of either City Hill or Gateway, as a part of these two families that are coming together, you've got questions, and we are here to discuss those questions and to discuss more about this transition. Harold, tell me about your thoughts when you first heard about CityGates, when you first heard about City Hill and Gateway coming together as one.
Well, when I first heard about it, I was excited. If you ask me why was I excited, well, when two churches are coming together, this is the work of God. And I was reminded of, in fact, of the Psalms where it says, how good and how pleasant it is when brethren dwell together in unity. So for me, that was something exciting. And moreover, I have friends in City Hill and I have friends in Gateway as well. So that's something to look forward to. But also it reminded me of when we come together, gifts are being multiplied. And we can do so much more together than being apart, and reach not only the city but reach the four corners of the earth as well. And so that I was excited about it.
Transitioning and coming together does bring about several changes, doesn't it? I serve with a team in church and I know of others who do. What does it mean for someone who's serving within church, who's a part of a team or leading a team in church? Does this mean we can take a back seat now because there's someone else to sort of step in those shoes and do the job for us?
Well, I've been in the corporate world for many decades, in fact, and I know how it is in companies when two companies come together, when there's mergers and acquisitions. There can be challenges, there can be insecurities, and sometimes people can take a back seat. Well, in the church, these things can happen. But let me tell you, we need to manage it well, and we need to give of ourselves more. Not take a back seat, but give of ourselves more, because one, the church is becoming larger, okay, and that means there's more opportunities to serve and give of ourselves. So I would encourage anyone in any team, whether it's City Hill or Gateway, do not hold back, but give of yourselves to serving, and as you serve, see what God will do. God has a purpose, because each one's gift is unique, and God will do something beautiful with your gifting.
In fact, it does not feel like two different churches coming together. It feels like two families just having this big, giant reunion. What is in your heart for CityGates? What has God put in your heart for CityGates and how it's going to go ahead with this season?
When you talk about family, I'm reminded of my preach, I think, when I spoke about the Bible talks about the church being a family. There are many metaphors of the church, but one of the metaphors is the family. And the family when it talks about a loving relationship. It talks of intimacy, friendships with one another. And so I see this going to happen. Friendships are going to take place. There's love and care and concern for one another, like in a small family. But now it's a much larger family, and I see that as God builds the family, Citygate, and strengthens this family, we create a huge impact in the city, but not only in the city, in the nations as well. And I think whether it's young or old, God wants to raise up pillars in the family, so that we have pillars out in the city, the neighborhood, in the office places, that we are impacting the nations and the city.
I love that vision of a church coming together and taking its place within a city, being that light, being that beacon for others in a city and then impacting nations. That's a beautiful vision to have. If there's one advice you could give to people within City Hill and Gateway as they come together as City Gates, what would that advice be?
I remember this quote. I did not know who it was said by, but it resonates in my heart. The church is a hope for the nations. In other words, we have the answer. The world is looking for answers, they're looking for hope. And we, as people of destiny, we are the answer to it. So the church is the hope of the nations.
So what advice would you give to someone who is a part of City Hill and someone who's a part of Gateway and now looking forward to the transition as City Gates? What would you tell someone who's a part of both these families as they come together as part of City Gates?
I'm reminded in the book of Ephesians, it says that we are God's handiwork. In other words, it means masterpiece. We are handcrafted by God. That means we have a unique gift and a unique calling. So I would tell to both, whether it's members of City Hill and Gateway, but now we're coming together to City Gates, I would say give of yourselves, because you have a unique gift and calling which only you can fulfill.
Yes.
God has given many gifts, many talents to each one, and I personally believe that every member has at least one gift. And I would encourage each member to serve with that gift and let God bless it and multiply it.
We are called to serve. Thank you, Harold. Thank you for sitting down with us and speaking your heart out about City Gates.
You're welcome, Marina.
Thank you, City Gates family. Thank you for listening to us. Thank you for giving your time to this video. It's not going to end here. There's more coming. We're going to be having a series of conversations, and let's keep that communication on. Let's keep encouraging one another and speaking to one another and approaching people in our church with any questions that you might have. We would love to hear from you. Thank you.